talking about base camps and inflection points, where do you see as the next big critical inflection point for the industry?
I mean, I think we haven't even reached the first point, uh, honestly, because unless there is some form of actual service out there, um, actually, no, that's not really true because um, there are places where service is out there, even though it's not part of the Western world, so you never see it. Um, and until that sort of crosses that border, we will not really see it, to be honest. So if you look at EHang as an example, that's a company, China based company, but they are certified to fly in China, and there are commercial operations in China right now, and that is an autonomous vehicle, right?
Hmm.
um, I heard recently that they also started passenger flights in Thailand.
Oh,
But the thing is, until the rest of the world start seeing that, we will not even get to a point where we can see the next step. Because the other issue we have is that if there is one problem, one accident, or
yeah,
one setback, that will set back the entire progress
yeah,
a few years. Same thing
yeah,
happened like the autonomous cars and also with the battery technology. Remember, early days, one or two caught
yeah,
fire. It was so much in the news. Now everyone think, every single car will catch fire, which is not
yeah,
true. I mean, how
yeah.
many Teslas you've seen catching fire?
So perception is reality, right? But I always say that that's only half of the saying, right? So for me that saying is perception is reality, but perception is influenced by presentation.
Yeah,
And where I really think we're missing the boat right now is that presentation side. Think about nuclear, right? Nuclear is incredibly safe. Chernobyl was the commies doing some weird stuff there, right? So you take that out. We had an incident in the United States in Pennsylvania in the 70s. Something went wrong. The safeguards that were in place stopped it from being a catastrophe, right? So the system worked. That 3 Mile Island has inhibited the nuclear growth in the U.S. All goes back to the messaging, right? To me, that's not a technology problem, right? That was a messaging problem failure back in 1970s US that rippled through. So I think to your point, I'm terrified of that, right? One
yeah.
big issue could throw us back, and again, I don't see the advocacy in the industry really just beating that to the punch and getting in front of that story.
There is some advocacy there because what I hear so far from the
Hmm.
industry and from the advocates of advanced air mobility, they understand
Hmm.
the problem of messaging, they understand the problems of acceptance, but it is not in the masses yet. I think the message need to be out. And honestly, this is why we started the podcast. This channel is purely so that we can educate people, have this conversation, and spread the word.
Yeah, no,
And and that
that's
is
the
needed.
that's the venue that I think is missing, right? Is it doesn't matter if the experts feel good about this, right? I mean, nuclear experts are fine with 3 Mile Island, right?